This is Leonard Evans introducing the second of two parts based on a presentation I gave to a technical meeting in late 2005 showing how wrong predictions about the future can be. The very same predictions continue to be made as shown by scenes 5 through 8 of the 1939 GM Futurama movie. A continuous, higher resolution version of this presentation is available on my website scienceservingsociety.com.
And now we see an enlarged section of 1960s express motorway. Along the ledge of this beautiful precipice, traffic moves at unreduced rates of speed. Safe distance between cars is maintained by automatic radio control. Curved sides assist the driver in keeping his car within the proper lane under all circumstances. The keynote of this motorway,
safety.
Safety with increased speed.
It's available on my website scienceservingsociety.com.
Over a spectacular suspension bridge, the motorway enters a large city, spanning the navigable river on which it is situated and forming a gateway to the city. A feature of this bridge is the elimination of congestion and the elimination of interference from all the various converging motorways and from all the feeder roads. And now we see a great river city of 1960. Here is an important intersection in the great metropolis of 1960. Elevated sidewalks give a new measure of safety and convenience to pedestrians. They actually double the available width for traffic in the street. So, we see some suggestion of the things to come. A world which, far from being finished, is hardly yet begun. A world with a future in which all of us are tremendously interested, because that is where we are going to spend the rest of our lives. In a future which can be whatever we propose to make it. True, each of us may have different ideas as to what that future will be. But every forward outlook reminds us that all the highways of all research and all communication, all the activities of science, lead us onward to better methods of doing things, with new opportunities for employment and better ways of living, as we go on determined to unfold the constantly greater possibilities of the world of tomorrow, as we move more and more rapidly forward, penetrating new horizons in the spirit of individual enterprise, in the great American way.
The most striking aspect of these earlier predictions is the buoyant, naive optimism they exude. Nobody familiar with the dreadful events that happened since 1939 could entertain so upbeat a view about the wonderful new world that technology is going to herald. However, the technical content of the predictions remains remarkably unchanged. In the 1930s, and in every decade since, we have heard predictions of high-speed travel by personal vehicles, and more specifically, of safe headways maintained by electronic means. Why do we keep getting it wrong? I believe this arises from fundamental misconceptions about the nature of, on the one hand, traffic composed of personal vehicles, and on the other hand, the traffic crashes in which these vehicles are involved. I believe most purchasers of vehicles are not so much buying the vehicle, but buying something they prize even more highly, namely personal mobility. That is the freedom to go where they want, when they want, and with whom they want. They want to do this in a hassle-free manner and at a cost that is affordable. Most drivers positively want to control their own vehicles. Even if they did not, automatic control of platoons of vehicles faces formidable intrinsic technical hurdles. It is the tire-road interface that is crucial. Personally owned vehicles are not all going to have new tires inflated to the manufacturer's recommended pressure. Likewise, roadway friction may vary rapidly due to patches of oil, ice, or for that matter, bird poop. It is not electronic limitations that prevent a platoon of automatically controlled personal vehicles from traveling safely at high speed, a few feet apart. If it were, the predictions of the 1930s would have been realized many decades ago, given the dramatic increase in the reliability and speed of electronic communication. While at the national level we have millions of crashes, individual drivers experience them rarely, typically 1 per 12 years. Crashes involve violations of expectancy, in most cases also involving violations of law. They are rare events. If you narrow it down to a specific type of crash, such as a side impact, the driver experiences one of these about once per 30 years. Drivers are not going to tolerate frequent warnings against such rare events. If, on the other hand, the warning occurs only about once per year, then the driver is not going to have any idea what it means. Ignoring the overwhelming desire for personal transportation and the nature of traffic crashes will lead to the continuing squandering of billions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of lives. We can cut U.S. traffic deaths in half, but in order to do so we must develop policies that do not deny the knowledge that 70 years of traffic safety research has provided. How we can do this is the subject of the last chapter of my book, Traffic Safety. The chapter is called Vision for a Safer Tomorrow. Additional information on this and other topics in this presentation is available on my website, scienceservingsociety.com.